One of the last major technical areas in video production, which we haven't discussed so far to any great extent, is lighting. So to begin with, let's talk about why lighting is important for video. And there are three basic reasons that I would like you to remember for why lighting is so important. Now, the first of these should be pretty obvious, which is proper exposure of the video. Without light, you will not be able to see the video. If you've ever seen a poorly lit film, which is different than a darkly lit film, in a poorly lit film, the audience finds itself struggling to see what they should see. They can't see stuff. That's bad lighting. You can light a scene to look dark, but still allow the audience to see everything that they need to see. That's a well-lit film that happens to take place in the dark. And there are plenty of those. Horror films have to do this all the time. But there's a difference between making it look dark and still be able to see what you should, and have it just not have light, which would be a badly lit film. Second reason is to make the video look less or more three-dimensional. Lighting is what allows the creation of shadow. When you turn a light on, it also creates a shadow. Shadows are what make something look three-dimensional. Shadows are the way that our eyes perceive areas that are like crevices, or highlight areas, which are areas that are rising out. So to see wrinkles in somebody's face, which are crevices, there's a shadow in that wrinkle, and that's why you're able to see it. If you crank your light up to a huge degree, you won't have any shadows, and everything will look flat. An example of this would be if you've ever taken a picture with your cell phone in the dark of somebody's face. So you took a picture like you were out at a nighttime football game or something like that, and you took a picture of somebody in the stands. The flash goes off. The flash is super bright. It wipes out all the shadows in that person's face, and you can see their face, but it looks very flat. Flash photography is notoriously flat because it just throws out a whole bunch of light to make something visible. So it's visible, but it's flat. For it to look three-dimensional, we would have to be able to see the details in that person's face that you can only see with the addition of shadow. So you can make video look more or less three-dimensional depending on how you light it. Sometimes you want something to look flat. Usually you don't, but every now and then there are cases when you do want something to look kind of flat. The last that I want you to remember is to set the mood. A lot of times we want to affect the mood in a scene, and there's a lot of different ways that we can change the mood in a scene, but one of those is through lighting. You can use lighting through the addition of color, or sometimes you can use lighting by varying the intensity, and those things will have an effect on the audience's perception. Subconsciously, if not consciously, they will start to perceive that picture a little bit differently. So these are the purposes of lighting, the three major purposes of lighting that I'd like you to remember about why lighting is important in video production.